dollar. Dirt and money, no soul. Had to go and get it, ain't no time to kick it. Got a stack of flip for my foes. Dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar. Let me watch out for my partners. Keep my money long, get my team strong. Let me run away from my problems.
Yep, what's good, original crew, man? We're back. We got a Tommy G video, man. We haven't did Tommy G in a while, right?
It's been a while.
It's been a good minute, man. But we got Tommy G catching Preds with Chris Hansen. Or should I call it Chris Hansen? Shout out to the Boondocks, man.
Shout out.
But hey, with that being said, before we get into it today, make sure you check out the links in the description box.
Down below.
You already know where to go. If you want to first support, all you got to do is check out down below. Also, if you enjoyed today's visuals,
lock it in with a thumbs up.
And let us know in the comment section down below, man. What I was going to say? I was going to say something. But I cannot remember what I was about to say. And that always kills me. Oh, this got to be I know what I was going to say. This got to be a backup channel. Video.
Oh, yeah.
This got to be a backup video.
Most definitely. No questions.
All right. So with that being said, let's go ahead and dive into it, y'all. Let's check it out. Let's see what's about. You ready?
I'm ready.
Let's get it.
Why did you ask her if she was willing to do a gangbang?
She sounded eager. She sounded like she wanted to learn, and I made a mistake.
I think he's gonna pull up around from the left.
Close the door too, it's kind of cold.
What do we got here? Jeremy, you shouldn't leave. These gentlemen want to talk to you.
Put your money back. Please! Get down on the ground!
Why did you think it was okay to leave your teenage girl home alone to come here and meet another teenage girl, Jeremy?
That's crazy.
Does any part of you feel sorry for these guys?
No.
This one idea for a one-off story for Dateline NBC in 2004 has turned into all this.
I will. Can you just tell me who you are?
I'm Chris Hansen. This is an investigation.
In this episode, we trudge into the dark corners of crime, perverts, and Preds who prey on kids. We team up with Chris Hansen, a man who has spent the last 2 decades as the premier Pred catcher on the planet. Together, we team up in a sting operation to catch these. In this episode, there are certain words that for some reason we cannot say. Among them, so instead, we will either refer to these guys as Preds, PDF files, or bleep out the word altogether to avoid being censored. Now, this ugly world of PDF files is something that I almost didn't want to cover. I mean, the idea that grown men are out there looking to meet with vulnerable youth, to me, it's just sad and sickening. But it is a reality of this world that we have to face, and thankfully with the help of local police, we have the opportunity to take these offenders off the street and give them justice. Folks, this episode is heart-pounding, stomach-turning, and incredibly intense. It's time to saddle up and go boots on the ground.
Michigan.
Today we're diving into the dark world of and we're doing it with one of the best in the business, Mr. Chris Hansen. We're just down the road from a sting operation where they're luring guys in and then promptly arresting them. To me, I'm really fascinated to get to the bottom of why this is happening. So let's try and learn something together. Buckle up, folks. We're in for one today. Just as we arrived in Michigan and we're gonna set out to the Sting House, we got word from Chris's team that an offender was on his way to get busted and for us to lay low until they booked him. What happened next is one of the most powerful moments of Chris's career.
No, there's no one home. You can close the door, it's cold outside.
It's a head.
Did you bring the money?
Yeah.
Can I see it? How much is there?
150.
I'm gonna go ahead and tell you how you already know this is set up, bro. You sit on one couch, she sit on the other couch. That's red flag number 1. And then the way she sit over at you.
These folks are sick, bro.
Also, you shouldn't even be here in the first place.
They are sick, yeah.
But since you here, you ask the question, is this a setup? Just as soon as you see her sitting on the other couch, Where the cops at?
Don't prepare yourself.
Where the cops at, bro?
'Cause
Did
about
she
to
ask
get
you for
locked
money?
up. Yeah.
What?
Okay. What do you want to do?
What are you feeling up to? I don't want to.
I'm down for anything.
Are we doing it here? Is there like a bedroom?
There's a bedroom, or we can do it on the couch, or anywhere you want to go. I'll go change, and you can stay here. Okay. You can just stay right here, and I'll.
Boy, you should have been. Hold on. We're like, what Chris said? So she said I could go change.
Be right back, okay? Yeah. Okay.
She said, let me go to the bathroom.
How you doing? Good.
Hey.
What was your plan here today? No, you cannot. Stay right there.
Can you leave?
Boy, you had all the signs before.
Stupid.
From the law enforcement angle, what have you seen in this world?
Seems over the last 10 years, it's gotten worse, in my opinion. Just based off interviews I've done over the years with children, child forensic interviews over the child abuse type stuff, sexual abuse.
How common are these people out in the world, these predators?
To be quite honest, I think it's a very scary thought. I think they're very common. I think parents should be well aware of the stuff that happens on the internet.
My name
Facts,
is
online
Christian.
activity.
I'm a retired Chicago Police Deputy Chief on the Chicago Police Department. I spent 14, 15 years in what's called Special Investigations of the Youth Division, chasing pedophiles, basically. When I was doing this work, and we would do lectures and seminars, and I thought at that time you could probably find a pedophile rather on probably every square mile in the city of Chicago.
Well, you know, I kind of fell into working with, so I fell into forensics, and have been helping lock the sons of bitches up for 30 years. I don't know, how many people are versus how many billions of people we have. No one's ever clear with that because we're only basing it on those that were convicted. We know that there's no place we could go in this country where it isn't happening.
I mean, we're in the UP of Michigan.
That's true.
And right now we could be talking to someone down in Texas that could potentially be up here within a couple days to try to, potentially take your child. So it's not just in your backyard anymore. It's like a nationwide thing.
What's your name?
Joe, I was looking online to play.
To play, and what do you mean by play, Joe?
What you mean, Joe?
Yes.
You talked to somebody online and on the phone, and you were pretty graphic. How many times had you met women online before for
2 or 3.
2 or 3?
Hey.
And what do you do for a living now, Joe?
I'm a grocery manager.
Here in town?
Marquette.
In Marquette. Over the phone, she tells you that she's 18. You say to her, that's messed up.
That is.
But yet you continued to talk about having sex with her. It almost seems as though that age excited you. You asked if she would do a gangbang. Why did you ask her if she was willing to do a gangbang?
She sounded eager. She sounded like she wanted to learn, and I made a mistake. I have a addiction. I will admit that I have a porn addiction. I got addicted to porn when I was probably 11, 12 years old.
Did you bring condoms?
I did not. I might have one.
Right. But you were willing to have unprotected sex with this girl.
I don't know if I would have gone that far.
So it seems to me.
Yeah, you would have. If this was literally real, my boy, you would have. Because you just asked her where you want to do it. You want to do it in the bedroom or you want to... So if it wouldn't have gone that far, you wouldn't have even showed up. You came here with intentions. She asked you, did you bring the money? You said, yeah. And you showed her the wad of cash. So yeah, you had all intents to do it. Or am I wrong?
The first thing is once somebody tell you their age and you still are persistent with talking or making plans, that alone.
Soon as she said, I'm at you.
I'm this age.
Oh, my bad. Let me, like you said, don't respond at all. Go ahead and block, delete, and keep it going.
Like crazy.
You scared me off. You scared you off. Like, my bad.
So for you to go that far, knowing that still show or bring money, boy, please.
Block, delete, and keep it pushing, bro.
Yeah.
That If I wasn't here and a real 15-year-old girl was, you would have been having sex with her by now.
I should go away for a very, very, very long time. There's no one to blame but myself.
All right, Joe, well, there's something you need to know.
You're Chris Hansen with...
Takedown with Chris Hansen. Have you seen the shows before?
I have.
And what have you thought of those shows?
But I
Never thought he'd be in
appreciate
it.
Well, thank you.
Never
Did you ever
thought he'd
think
be
you're
in
going
that
to end up
position.
face to face like this?
When I walked in here and saw the pizza box, I honestly knew.
Is that up for you?
Yep. Just the wallet.
No other weapons or anything on you, sir?
No.
Bro said when I came in, I saw the pizza box. I knew.
That's
He
crazy.
said, I saw the pizza box. Bro,
Baby, first of all, showing up, period, like I said, is wrong.
Yeah.
But you showed up,
and there was so many signs,
and
bro.
this is like,
So many signs told you what it was. And you ignore every last sign. Thirsty for it, bro. Too thirsty for it. That's what it was.
That's mind blowing, bro.
I'm just going to give you a quick pat down. All right.
Joe, thank you for being straight up with me. I appreciate it.
Can I shake your hand?
Yes.
It's hot and sweaty. I
appreciate it, buddy. Good luck to you, all right?
I'm sorry.
Get
Thank
the help
you.
you need, all right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You want to shake your nasty hands?
It sounds messed up to say, but I couldn't help but feel bad for some of these guys. I mean, I know that if they followed through with what they were going to do, that they very well would damage a kid for life. But still, watching them throw their life down the drain in real time just made me feel sad for them. And due to the pathetic nature of what they were setting out to do, my guess is these guys live very miserable lives. Does any part of you feel sorry for these guys?
No.
These guys are doing irreparable, lifelong damage to kids. I felt like just looking at them, I feel repulsed, I feel ick, I feel like, and just feel good. Like hearing that door shut behind, like I had like a word in my head, just justice. Let's head to the Sting house. So what's going through your head when you bust a guy like that?
It's sad to see that we have this in the community, but it's good to see something come out of it to get these people off the streets. The maximum for the punishment is 20 years to life. Easily at least serve a couple years. Hopefully we have a successful rest of our day.
So in a normal Sting, when you start in the morning, how late does it go?
You know, we've gone till the next morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, depending on who's coming.
So we might be having a slumber party tonight.
Could happen. It's happened before. So this weekend we have a sting operation with the Marquette County Sheriff's Department. Decoys will go undercover posing as children and see if men will approach them and try to make a date for sex. If they do, they will be invited over here. I will confront them and then they'll be arrested by the Marquette County Sheriff's Office. We've been doing investigations for 20 years now. And yet here we are, 20 years and probably 600 guys later. The problem is worse than ever before.
You've pioneered a whole new genre of content where now there's people that their entire career is doing somewhat very similar things. One, did that blow your mind? And two, not all of them get the guys arrested.
You know, when I stop to think about it, now that you mention it, it is kind of mind-boggling. This one idea for a one-off story for Dateline NBC in 2004.
It's a Dateline hidden camera investigation no parent will want to miss. He thinks he's at this house to have sex with a 15-year-old girl. Chris Hansen with a Dateline hidden camera investigation.
Has turned into all this. And in terms of the vigilante catchers, you know, some of them have done a service. And I think there's a solid place for citizen journalists. But it concerns me that I think some, not all, but some of these vigilante catchers are out to just be as outlandish as possible.
And that's the part I don't agree with. Some of
I
these are
agree
only
with
doing
him.
it for content.
Yeah.
My bad. Some people are only doing it for content
Yeah,
purposes.
yeah.
They're not really out here trying to. And then half of them, I'm like, are these people even like really? You know what I'm saying? Like, is this even real? Like going and slapping them around. To me, that's doing nothing. Like,
Nothing at all.
and then y'all not even doing it the right way. And y'all ain't catching these many people every freaking night. You know what I'm saying? And you always got to have a celebrity or something with you. That's kind of weird to me. And then we got to make it a comical approach to it. That's weird.
And you don't have the authorities involved.
Yeah, like can we be serious with these situations? If you're gonna do it, let's actually be serious with it. Let's make sure like we're putting a message out there with it, not just looking at it from a comical approach.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because then I'm like, I kind of look at you a little sideways.
Calls coming in from potential and everyone's waiting, holding their breath to see if a lead is coming through.
I don't want to get in trouble. I'm not here to get you in trouble. I just want to have a good time.
He's coming.
But what's your mental preparation? Like, what are you doing before they come?
Well, I'm working on a lot of different things. So I've gone through the material for this particular confrontation. I'll start going through it again in a few minutes here when we know he's on the way, for sure. And other than that, you're just kind of keeping aware, and I'm working on other stories at the same time.
They're just trying to see if it's real, see if they can manipulate him, take advantage.
Do you feel bad for these guys at all?
Do I feel bad? No, at all. They knew what they was doing. They need to ask what.
Tell me about the potential perp.
He said that he is 49. He's actually 53, we found out.
I think interesting, first of all, that he's willing to lie about a minor detail like that.
He's coming from like 3 hours away.
Did he also take a picture?
He took a picture of his on the side of the road, sent it to the decoy.
Okay, you guys are some of the world experts in tracking down.
That's crazy.
What kind of commonalities do you notice amongst these guys? Traits, characteristics?
They all lie about inconsequential details. This guy that just said he's 49, he's really 53. We've had guys lie about the type of car they're driving.
How has doing this job changed how you guys look at the world?
Like, I feel like when I have kids, they're not getting on anything. And Chris talks about all the time that when he first started doing this, he thought he was going to do it like once or twice, and now 20 plus years later, he's still doing it.
And he's busier than ever.
And he's busier than ever.
There are exponentially more platforms upon which adults can approach children. So while there is more activity now than ever before, it's more difficult to detect. I think technology has opened this up. I think people are more exposed to fantasies.
Is it all men or ever women showing up here?
Because you got to think about it when Chris was doing it back in the day. It was like, what, chat rooms? Have you ever been in a chat room?
What's a chat room?
Huh?
What's a chat room?
Like just back in the day, internet chat room. Not like MySpace chat, like in the messages. But like there used to be chat rooms. That was... like I've never been in a chat room. I know a couple of my friends in school.
Like I'm saying, do you know like a name for something? I've never been in it.
I like names of them. I don't know.
Video chats or just chat
Just chatting. Like, cause I had a couple of friends in high school. They'd be like, "Yeah, man, I was talking to this," and I used to always be in school like.
Because I was like, what's that one? The one they used to have. Is it?
Ooh, that's like videos.
Yeah, that's why I said.
But it's like
when you
Skype.
said chat room, I thought about that, but I was like, that's not.
To me, that's like Skyping. You know.
But random people did used to like
pop
try to
up.
like pop up and like chat and talk to you and stuff like that. But an actual like chat room, no.
Yeah, where they literally just chat with people, like as far as type chat.
No.
I had a couple friends in high school. They used to literally be like, "Man, this chick I was talking to and stuff." And I'm like, "Man, do you think?" I'm like, "Bro, you don't know this, bro." Like, I just used to always think it was weird, low-key a little weird. But I was like, "Bro, whatever." Like, then back in like 04 and stuff, and like 05, 06 and stuff, you had MySpace.
Mm-hmm.
Chat rooms or MySpace. Like, that's the only like internet communication you had. But then Facebook pop up, and now Instagram, and now Snapchat, and now Twitter, and TikTok,
yeah, stuff like that.
Like, so you got so many, and that's just the bare minimum. There's so many forms of communication. What the ask.fm, like you got. There's so many forms of communication nowadays that people are meeting people online. And like you said, previously it wasn't that many. Yeah. Now it's so many platforms that you can communicate with, and there's so many monitors on the internet now than there has ever been. Yeah, because there's so many social media platforms. Facts. And platforms that are still on a come up that they might be talking about in their class that the mainstream people don't even know about. It's plenty of things that's out there that some weird adult might even know about, and they, because they even have little chat rooms like. These little P words, they have even chat rooms where they communicate and they tell each other, "Hey, man, you can find groups and find young ones." They do follow each other. They communicate with each other. They be knowing.
Opposed to fantasies.
Is it all men or ever women showing up here?
I've never had a woman.
Women like to have a connection, whereas men are out hunting for.
But I do think there's women. Which is what he says is true. More women do like to, but there are some desperate women out there. There are a lot of desperate, but men just be even more desperate.
I'm gonna tell you, most of the women, sadly, are getting caught in the schools. These are your teachers and those and they be really have relationships with these students. A lot of times when you see women, they don't be on these. Not saying that women can't. I'm just saying we haven't seen it yet. But most of those you see a teacher or some type of administrator. Yeah. So
true. That is true now. That is true.
It's sad all around.
Cause I told this story before. I'm gonna go into detail, but because everybody doesn't know the story. But I did have a teacher that we all knew she was one of these. Yeah. And she was one of these for a long time. Year after year after year, we knew she was turning the girls out. She was the softball coach, and we knew, hey, if a girl's trying to play softball, 9 times out of 10, she gonna approach you on that time, and she did get caught. She did go to jail. No, she didn't go to jail, did she?
She didn't. I looked it up.
We did look it up. She got probation.
Remember. I think she just got a probation, which I said was crazy.
Yes.
But we had a teacher, but. He was a teacher there, but he ended up going to a different school.
Yeah, you told me.
And he was the band teacher.
And he got caught at another school. But do y'all think he was doing activity at y'all's school?
He was always weird, so there's no telling.
Bro, it be the ones you be suspicious of.
He was just always
it do be the ones we be suspicious of, though.
I'm bro, what?
And I ain't gonna hold you, bro. We had a police officer at the school. I told you about this. Hey, it's real suspicious. He was the officer in the school, and a couple years later, he ended up marrying one of the students.
Oh yeah,
2 years after she graduated, now you married to her.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But she come on now. You were looking at her while she was. Come on now, and you end up marrying, having a kid with her, and y'all end up getting divorced. You or even if you was in communication with her when you was a student, but you the police officer, a real. I ain't talking about just a security guard,
Yeah.
And then it's plethora of
so
others.
many other just sad stories.
We had a substitute like that. He ended up marrying one of the students. I'm just they might not be a student now, but it's very much so weird behavior to me that you were subbing, teaching, being some kind of official within a school, and 2-3 years later you marrying one of the students that was at the school that you worked at.
Right.
It's weird behavior to me, but who am I?
Women like to have a connection, whereas men are out hunting for whatever. So the women, it's always somebody who's closer.
The female, you're more likely to see in the teacher-student scenario. The female wants to know the victim. The male likes the anonymity.
Miss Nutley was a teacher at St. Xavier High School. This is a Catholic school in Springfield Township. A Catholic school of all places.
Has doing this job made you look at men differently?
I mean, I always
thought there were perverts out there, but like, there's so many, I guess.
To get an idea of the damage this crime can cause a family, we spoke with a mom whose child suffered from the hands of an exploitive adult, and she spoke to the impact this had on her life.
I didn't notice everything until maybe 3 years into the relationship. I started noticing that he was a little bit like not affection. So I kind of just assumed that he was cheating on me. We took a trip out to Michigan, and that's when I actually found out that my daughter had a boy over. I investigated deeper into her phone and found out that this other kid was actually 23. So I called the cops, and they did lock him up. But that same night, something was bothering me about why was she so comfortable in my bed? So I went and asked my daughter, has Tim ever touched you? And Tim was right behind me, and I felt him. I felt his energy behind me, like the nervousness. And she said yes. I turned around, I just started throwing things at him. And that's when I used, have you ever my daughter? He nodded. One time. I'm so confused at this moment. I'm like, well, what are you talking about? You said one time, but you're saying no. What's going on? He was on a run for at least 2 weeks. He took a plea, the 10-year plea. It was underage. He just repeatedly with the underage.
This is such a cat and mouse game. Like, we'll have like someone 30 minutes away.
That's crazy.
And then they chicken out. Or someone calls back and is like, hey, I want to pee on you. And then they chicken out.
Comes in, goes out. We try to maintain a low key, but you gotta eat good. Gotta bring beef jerky.
In a typical day, 8-10 hour day, how many people would you bust?
It really varies by location. You know, there have been some where we've packed in four guys in an afternoon. And then there's some where we've showed up and we've been there for 2 days and nobody shows up.
What are the major red flags of a that people can be aware of or think about?
So if we just take an extreme, on one extreme, we know these people because they're always talking the language. Instead of calling people kids, they're F toys or, even dates, they're objects. On that end, we know who those people are because they're always verbalizing. But most are at the other end. They have a great social persona. They look good, they sound good, but they're very schmoozy. And it's that schmooziness that we forget. That's psychopath traded.
In any way do you feel bad?
You want me to say, after listening to him, I'm like, when he said like the verbiage of certain people and stuff, like, you know what I'm saying? I started thinking about all these people who have these podcasts or these people who have this manosphere platforms and they try to tell and that's the conversations they have, how they belittle either women or people, like they just, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, because I'm like, that is the verbiage that they use.
Yeah.
But so many people who goes to them and like, oh yeah, they know what they're talking about. And I'm like,
no.
And then they brought out this term, the alpha male and all that. I'm like,
yeah.
Oh man, it's
that schmooziness that we forget. That's psychopath traded.
In any way do you feel bad for these guys?
Sometimes, you get a guy who gets on his knees, who spent 6 months in battle in Iraq, maybe has PTSD, and he's begging you for forgiveness. You can't help but feel bad. But at the end of the day, if we weren't here and a child was here, what would have happened?
Because there's no doubt in my mind, a large number of people that are incarcerated are going to get back out and restart again.
Hi. I'm sorry I missed your call.
Yeah, I'm like 30 minutes away. I was just making sure you're gonna be still up and shit.
Yeah, I'm still up. I'm waiting.
Alright. So, what do you just want to text me the address when I call you back, or what do you want to do?
Yeah, just let me know when you're in this.
how you gonna tell to text you the address? Obviously, you know where the address is. You say you 30 minutes away.
Unless he's saying he's 30 minutes away from the city, the state, because he traveled.
Yeah.
This is the one coming in 3 hours.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
And I'll text you the address.
Alright.
Okay. Hurry up! I can't wait to see ya.
Alright.
Okay. Bye.
That's crazy.
Does it surprise you how many guys are out there trying to do this?
Yes and no. Our jurisdiction has a very high amount of CSCs, criminal sexual conducts.
I guess, how does it make you feel getting to do this job?
This? Good. Like, I've seen so many stories that are like horrific. Some of these people do 2 minors is sickening.
Do you think our justice system properly takes care of these guys?
I think they all need to go to prison for some stint, however long. I'm not sure. I will say, I think reoffenders, my personal opinion, shouldn't be able to walk another day freely.
Anything you think people back home should know?
If you're a sexual assault victim, don't be afraid to speak out and tell your story to somebody from trained law enforcement officials that do handle this stuff in a sensitive manner, and don't be afraid to report it and speak out about it.
There are a boatload of clips from this episode that, for reasons I cannot get into, are only available on Patreon. If you'd like to support independent journalism and have access to these clips, the link to subscribe is in the description.
There's a last-minute hustle and bustle to get everyone in place.
We'll see him on the camera, so if he does, everyone will just shift.
Make sure everything's just do a final check your phones. Everything's yeah. How well do these guys usually scope out a place before they go to it?
I think last year, and the one we did that one, I think we've had 2 or 3 go by. They'll drive by once or twice just to make sure they're looking for, obviously, police cars, anything suspicious, obviously lighting, any suspicious movement at all. That would indicate, hey, there's something just to justify their concerns. So once they're in, they're fully committed.
So, like, how do you approach this from a psychological standpoint so that you keep it going without tipping them off, but you still get information, like when to text them, when not to text them?
I think it's just by feel.
Do you want the honest answer or the TV answer?
Honest.
You just gotta be really fucked up.
Do you think he would be disappointed to know that someone sending him all the nice messages was a guy like you with a beard?
They're gonna know when I take the stand.
Is this off a hookup website?
Yeah, this is off of a website that just strictly deals with prostitution.
So he's probably been there, done that before.
Wow.
Usually.
So that means the decoy has a fake profile.
Yeah.
With a few pictures.
Yep, I created a fake profile. The website's out of Europe.
How racy can you get with the pictures?
The pictures are of our actual decoy. She can get as racy as she's comfortable. Obviously, we don't get too racy with ours.
So he knows that she's 15, and his big holdup was he had to find some place to get rid of his kid for the night.
Do you know how old his kid is?
I don't think we discussed it.
He could be mad away.
That's crazy.
And you gave him the address at what point?
Just within the last 30 seconds, a minute ago.
All right, let's get ready.
Subject spotted. Okay, baby, here we go.
This is our guy. Hey, Verb, he asked where to park. There he is. Yep.
I think he's gonna pull up around from the left.
It's cold outside. You can close the door too, it's kinda cold.
You want me to go grab them white clothes or whatever?
Oh, that's okay. You can.
Oh, what? White
Just
Claw?
hang out. You can have a seat.
Good from.
You got some weed?
Yeah.
How was the drive?
Shitty, man. I got behind some guy that was going like 20 miles an hour and shit.
I was wondering what was taking you so long.
Yeah.
You got the condoms too?
Yeah. You want that? You want that?
Sure. Well, I'm gonna run upstairs and grab my bong really fast, and I'll be right back, okay?
Alright.
Okay.
What do we got here?
Oh, man.
How you doing?
Good.
What'd y'all bring?
So
Yeah, some weed.
Some weed?
Hey.
What's your name?
Jeremy.
Jeremy? And Jeremy, where are you from?
From Michigan.
What part of Michigan?
Iron Mountain.
Iron Mountain. What brought you here tonight?
She said she wanted to smoke.
She wanted to smoke. And who is she?
I have no idea.
You have no idea?
No, I just met her online.
You just met her online.
Okay.
And what was your plan here for tonight, Jeremy?
Just smoke.
Smoke?
Yeah.
Sex?
I mean, she said she...
She said she would have sex with you.
That's what she said.
That's what she said. And how old is she?
She said her thing says 19.
Keep your hands out of your pockets, please. She said what?
She said 19.
Hands up their pocket.
She said 15.
Oh, I don't know. Her thing says 19 on her.
Well, everybody has to say 19 to get on the platform, but she told you she was 15.
Oh, I didn't even pay attention to that.
You didn't pay attention. So you drive how many hours?
Played down
Just
there.
like an hour.
About an hour.
Yeah.
And did you stop at all along the way?
Yeah, I stopped at a gas station.
And what did you get at the gas station?
Gas.
Gas.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I grabbed some beer.
Some beer. And where is that?
Out of my truck.
Did you bring condoms?
Yeah.
You did. And where are those?
My pocket.
In your pocket. And how much weed did you bring here?
Just.
And how much did that cost?
Well, I don't know. This was I already had this.
You already had the weed.
Yeah.
So
what's going on here? What is this?
I'm going to get to that in a minute. But Jeremy, you drove an hour to meet a 15-year-old girl.
My bad.
Well, she said
Still
she
too
was
long.
19.
You say that on the website or on the social media, but it said 19 on the platform, but she told you 15.
I don't know, man. I'm not. Are you a cop or what?
I'll get to that in a minute.
Well, I'm not going to sit here and deal with this shit. So I got.
You're not going to sit here and deal with it? You drive an hour?
Yeah,
you
she lied to
bring
me and
weed.
said she was 19.
No. I've
Yeah,
seen the transcripts, Jeremy, so you can
Okay,
try to jerk me around here, but it's
Her
not going to
thing
go
says
well.
She's 19 on her thing. I'm assuming you have to have an ID to make a fucking sex website.
What
right?
did she tell you? What age did she tell you, Jeremy?
She said she was 19 on her thing.
What did she tell you in the conversation? She said 15, right?
Okay.
Okay. So what made you think it was okay to drive an hour, bring weed and alcohol to a 15-year-old girl after a sexually charged conversation?
I didn't know she was.
Okay, we can go round and round, but she told you. What made you think that this was okay?
I didn't think it was okay.
You didn't think it was okay. So why did you do
think
it?
it's okay?
I need a lawyer or something.
Are you a married guy?
No.
You're not married. Do you have kids?
Yeah.
How many kids?
2.
2. And where are your children tonight?
My kids, one's at a friend's house and the other one's at home.
One's at home. And how old are your children?
I got one's 14 and one's 16.
One's 14 and 16.
Wow. Every single. Oh wow.
Your kid.
When me, I didn't know what I was gonna say. When people like this, I just say
Yeah.
are doing things.
These kids.
She told you she was 15. Your
Which is
kids
younger.
are around the same age.
Actually, she's younger than your kids.
I just said around, but yeah,
So-
she's
so-
younger than your kids. A 17-year-old.
So that makes it. So, wow. So are you even looking at your? Because peep this, his kids are girls. Are you looking at their friends?
Are they?
I swear he said.
How many kids?
2.
2. And where are your children tonight?
My kids, one's at a friend's house and the other one's at home.
One's at home. And how old are your children?
I got one's 14 and one's 16.
One's
14 and 16, I think that's what it said.
I thought it said 17
I
and
thought
16.
at first she said 17 and 16. But anyway, regardless, the ages are
which
still...
is true. We don't know if it's a boy or girl.
The ages are still close to her age.
But also, are you looking at their young friends that might be young ladies as well, young girls? Are you looking at the friends that they come bring around? If you're willing to be with a 15-year-old, you're willing to look at their friends.
And I don't even like to think about stuff like that, but it's definitely out there, and it's definitely stuff that needs to be, thought about, especially for people that have kids or are thinking about having kids, because you want to protect your kids from people like this.
Mm-hmm.
At all costs.
Like you always said, that's the reason why a lot of mothers be skeptical about sending the kids to, hey, can I spend the night with such and such house? My friend house. All right, who's gonna be there? Her mom and dad.
I don't know if I think I have told you, or we've had these conversations
we had this conversation.
where I am very grateful for my mom's, like, how protective she was, because you used to hear about stories.
Does she have a brother? Does she have a...
Like, people going to spend the night and stuff happening, and like, people you go to school with, or you close to, and I always wanted to go to somebody's house and spend the night. Like, no. No, you're not. You're not.
That's true.
But,
that
crazy,
is
bro.
true, man.
15 and 116. So the 16-year-old's at home.
Yeah.
And the 14-year-old is where?
At a friend's house.
At a friend's house. Did you drop the 14-year-old off at a friend's house so you could come here?
No, she was already there.
She was already there. Yeah. So you left your 16-year-old child.
She was already there.
It's a girl, so now he confirmed that.
So that is your child's age.
That is your child's age, and that breaks
so again,
my heart.
Are you paying attention? Are you looking at their friends? They're coming around.
Like what?
That's sick, bro.
Yeah. On so many levels.
Home Alone.
She's 16.
But you left her home alone so you could come here to meet a 15 for sex. You want to just hold tight here, man, Jeremy. There's something you need to know before you go. Just sit.
I don't need to know anything.
Jeremy, I'm Chris Hansen, and I do stories on men. Jeremy, you shouldn't leave. These gentlemen want to talk to you.
Put your money back. Please! Get down on the ground!
Hey, he's on the couch. Let's sit.
All right.
Relax, buddy.
Slow down.
Relax.
Slow down.
All right. Okay, what the fuck?
Jeremy, I asked you not to leave. And look what happened. Is there anything else you want people to know about the situation you're in tonight, Jeremy?
No.
Why did you think it was okay to leave your teenage girl home alone to come here and meet another teenage girl, Jeremy?
All right, we're gonna sit you up, okay? We're gonna roll over to your back. Bring your knees up to your chest.
You know what another sad thing is? A lot of times in these situations, this ain't their first time.
No, most definitely not. You drove a whole hour. This ain't
your first time.
No.
So again,
and that's even more sad, because unfortunately, in that situation, you didn't have Chris there doing this.
Now this could be the youngest one he's ever, but it's not the only young girl.
It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Go and take a seat.
Jeremy, how old are you?
41.
41. And what do you do for a living, Jeremy?
Work at a warehouse.
You work at a warehouse. And what do you do at the warehouse?
Load trucks.
Load trucks. Well, Jeremy, as I started to say before you tried to leave, I'm Chris Hansen.
I'm not giving you guys permission to videotape.
Well, we don't need it.
You don't need it.
Well,
in the commission of a crime.
I don't have nothing to say.
We do stories on men who try to meet kids for sex. And you've become one of those stories. Is there anything else you want people to know?
No.
Okay, well, these people here will take it from here then.
Go, Jeremy.
Chris, you just completed 2 days, a lot of bus. What's going through your mind right now?
Tommy, the fact that a guy would leave his own children behind, a 14 and 16, to drive an hour to meet a 15, allegedly for sex, bring weed, alcohol, it never ceases to stun me.
The anticipation, right when he started walking up to the house, my heart was thumping.
Yeah, mine too. Still does.
It's an amazing thing. I mean, I've seen it so many times through the television, seen how it goes, but then to be here in the moment, it's like a rodeo when you're out there.
You don't know what's going to happen. And typically, we have the element of surprise. I mean, sometimes these guys are suspicious. Sometimes they'll say, "You're Chris Hansen," before I can say, "I'm Chris Hansen." He obviously felt pretty comfortable when he saw the undercover deputy posing as the 15-year-old girl. He thought that this was going to go to plan. And when she excused herself, it was time for me to come in and ask my questions.
I'm sure every guy comes in and tries to deny to some level.
Sure.
Is it airtight? Like, is there any way this guy can't say, "I didn't know she was 15"?
The way the sheriff's detectives and deputies work, they have a clear record of informing the alleged that this person they're coming to visit is 15.
Is playing dumb the most common defense mechanism?
It's playing dumb. I didn't see the age. They try to convince the detectives that because you have to be 19 to get on that platform, that they assume that they were 19, even though people get on these platforms at a younger age.
Do you think he knew he was an animal in a trap by the time you sat down with him?
I think he knew he was in trouble. I don't think he knew who I was. And so he's wondering, am I the mad dad? Am I the police? Or am I someone else?
To see what you've been doing the last many years, busting guys like this, getting them off the street, America's rooting for you, man.
I appreciate it, Tommy. I appreciate
So,
it very much.
well, thank you.
Thanks, man. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you. All right, folks. Well, that's what it's like inside of Operation, busting and putting them to justice. We'll see you guys next week. What you have just seen is the tip of the iceberg when it comes to what True Blue has to offer. They have countless documentaries with Chris Hansen, many more episodes of pedo catching, and a series called Cops Under Fire, which is the wildest cop show I've ever seen. If you would like to see more of this for only $4.99 a month, you can subscribe to True Blue. The link to do that is in the description.
Man. That was wild. Very wild. What you think?
Yeah, my mind still. Yeah.
Discombobulated a little bit.
Yeah, it's all over the place because it's like I'm just thinking about how many more people like that are out there, and and like I said earlier, you don't have in every situation, most situations, probably 95%, you don't have like operations like this happening. For nothing to ever happen to the child and for the cops to come in and swoop them up. You don't have that. So the things that are happening is just heartbreaking. But yeah.
That is true. That is true, man. Hey, man. Y'all spam us up in the comments. Y'all let us know y'all thoughts about it for us in the comment section down below for us. But until next time, y'all know how it go, man. I do go by the name DJ New Kid and C.
Sierra Nicole.
We are.
Kid and C.
We are.
Peace.